Ladies and gentlemen, you ever look around and wonder why the world feels so quiet when you're fighting your hardest battles? That silence, that isolation, it isn't a curse. It's a sign. A sign that you're walking a path few have the courage to tread. See, the strongest among us, they're often alone. Not because they're unloved, not because they're forgotten, but because strength is forged in solitude. It's in the moments when no one is watching, no one is cheering, and no one is helping that we become unshakable. Strength is not built in the moments when life is easy or when everything is going your way. It's not developed in the company of cheering crowds or amidst constant reassurance. Strength is forged in solitude. In those quiet, lonely moments when you're left with nothing but your determination and the will to keep going. When you're alone, that's when life shows you who you truly are. It strips away the distractions, the noise, and the opinions of others. It forces you to confront your fears, doubts, and insecurities head on. And while it may feel unbearable at times, it is in this solitude that your inner strength begins to take shape. Think about the strongest people you know or those whose stories inspire you. They weren't made strong by comfort or convenience. They were shaped by struggle, by moments when they were left to fend for themselves with no one to lean on and no one to save them. It's in those moments, in that solitude, that they found something unshakable within themselves. Solitude is not a punishment. It's a gift. It teaches you how to rely on yourself, how to trust your instincts, and how to find the power within to keep going when everything around you says, stop. It's in those quiet moments when you feel like giving up that you discover your own voice. The voice that tells you, strength forged in solitude is different from any other kind. It's unbreakable because it's not dependent on others. It's not swayed by opinions, approval, or recognition. It comes from a deep personal understanding that you are capable of enduring and overcoming anything life throws your way. So when you find yourself alone, don't despair. Use that time to build yourself, to grow, and to become the kind of person who doesn't just survive tough times, but thrives because of them. Solitude isn't the end of your journey, it's the foundation of your strength. Loneliness is one of the most misunderstood experiences in life. People often fear it, avoid it, or try to fill it with distractions. But what if I told you that loneliness isn't your enemy? What if instead it's one of the greatest teachers you'll ever have? When you're alone, you're given the rare opportunity to truly meet yourself. In a world filled with constant noise and expectations, loneliness allows you to step back and reflect. It forces you to sit with your thoughts, face your fears, and confront the parts of yourself you often ignore. While this process can be uncomfortable, it's in that discomfort where growth begins. Loneliness teaches you independence. It reminds you that your happiness, your worth, and your purpose aren't dependent on anyone else. When the world feels empty and you feel like you have no one to turn to, that's when you realize the power you have within. You learn that you can comfort yourself, motivate yourself, and pick yourself up when no one else will. It also teaches you clarity. Without the influence of others' voices, you start to hear your own. You discover what truly matters to you, what you stand for, and what you want out of life. Loneliness strips away the distractions and forces you to focus on what's real and what's important. But perhaps the most profound lesson loneliness offers is resilience. It's easy to feel strong when you're surrounded by people who support you. But when you're on your own, when the phone is silent and the room feels empty, that's when your true strength is revealed. Loneliness teaches you how to endure, how to keep going, and how to thrive even when the odds are stacked against you. So don't run from loneliness. Embrace it, learn from it. Let it shape you into someone who doesn't fear being alone, but finds power and purpose in solitude. Loneliness isn't the end of the road, it's the beginning of self-discovery. Struggle is something we all experience, but too often we see it as a burden, a curse, or an obstacle to be avoided. What we fail to recognize is that struggle is where purpose is born. It's in the darkest, most challenging moments of life that we find the meaning behind our pain and the strength to move forward. Struggle is life's greatest sculptor. It carves away the parts of us that no longer serve us, reshaping us into someone stronger, wiser, and more determined. Think about it. Diamonds are formed under immense pressure, and steel is tempered in fire. The same is true for you. Your struggles may feel overwhelming now, but they are forging you into something extraordinary. Purpose doesn't emerge when life is easy. It emerges when you're tested. When you're knocked down by failure, when you face rejection, or when you feel like the world is against you, that's when you start asking the deeper questions. Why am I here? What am I fighting for? And in those moments when you're searching for answers, you find clarity. You realize that the struggle itself is a part of your journey, a necessary step toward discovering what truly matters to you. Struggle gives meaning to success. Without hardship, triumph feels hollow. It's the nights spent working while everyone else is asleep, the tears shed in silence, and the battles fought with no one cheering you on that make victory taste so sweet. Your struggle becomes the story you tell, the story that inspires others and reminds you of just how far you've come. So don't shy away from struggle. Embrace it. See it for what it is, a teacher, a guide, and a necessary part of your growth. Every setback, every failure, and every challenge is preparing you for something greater. Purpose doesn't come easily, and it doesn't come quickly. It's earned through resilience, perseverance, and the courage to keep moving forward, no matter how tough the road gets. Remember, your struggle is not the end. It's the beginning of something far greater than you can imagine. Trust in the process and let your hardships guide you to your purpose. Silence. It can feel deafening, lonely, even unbearable at times. But if you look closer, silence is not a void, it's a sign. A sign that growth is happening, that transformation is taking root, and that something powerful is taking shape within you. When you're in the middle of building yourself, you'll often find the world goes quiet, the applause fades, the support dwindles, and the distractions disappear. It's in these silent moments that life is testing you. It's asking, can you keep going without the noise? Can you push forward without the validation? Because real growth doesn't need an audience. It happens in the quiet. Silence gives you space to reflect. In a world that's always moving, always shouting, it's easy to lose yourself in the chaos. But when everything quiets down, you're forced to look inward. That's where the real work begins. You start to understand your fears, your dreams, and the parts of you that need to change. Growth isn't always loud or obvious. It's often slow, subtle, and deeply personal. Think about nature. A seed doesn't sprout into a towering tree overnight. Its most important work happens beneath the soil, out of sight, in complete silence. Roots stretch deeper, strength is built in secret, and only when the time is right does it break through the surface. The same is true for you. Silence is your soil. It's where your roots dig deep, where you build resilience, and where your foundation is formed. But silence can also be uncomfortable. It's in these moments that self-doubt creeps in. You might wonder if you're on the right path, or if anyone even notices your efforts. Trust the process. Silence doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're growing. Growth isn't meant to be easy or glamorous. It's meant to challenge you and prepare you for what's ahead. So embrace the silence. Let it strengthen you. Let it remind you that growth is a personal journey, not a public performance. When the noise finally returns, you'll stand taller, stronger, and more confident than ever before. Silence isn't the absence of progress, it's the sound of transformation. Doubt is a shadow that follows everyone at some point in life. It whispers in your ear, telling you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. It makes you question your decisions, your dreams, and your very existence. But there's one thing stronger than doubt: self-belief. And when you nurture that belief, it can silence even the loudest voices of uncertainty. Self-belief doesn't mean you'll never feel fear or hesitation. It means that even in the face of doubt, you choose to keep moving forward. It's about trusting yourself, even when others don't. It's about looking at your reflection and saying, I am enough, even when the world tries to convince you otherwise. Think about this. Every person who's ever achieved greatness started with nothing but a belief in themselves. They faced rejection, failure, and criticism, but they didn't let it stop them. Why? Because they understood that doubt only has power if you give it permission. Self-belief, on the other hand, is a force that can move mountains, open doors, and turn dreams into reality. When you believe in yourself, you take ownership of your life. You stop waiting for others to validate you or give you permission to succeed. You realize that the only opinion that truly matters is your own. Yes, doubt will still try to creep in. It will tell you to play it safe, to give up, or to settle. But your belief in yourself can push back against that doubt, reminding you of your strength and potential. Self-belief isn't just a feeling, it's a choice. It's a decision you make every day to show up for yourself, to trust the process, and to keep going no matter how tough things get. It's about knowing that you're capable of growth, learning, and overcoming any obstacle that comes your way. Remember this: doubt is temporary, but self-belief is eternal. When you choose to believe in yourself, you become unstoppable. No amount of criticism, failure, or fear can break someone who is rooted in their own confidence. Believe in yourself and watch how your world begins to change. The easy road is tempting, isn't it? It's smooth, comfortable, and requires little effort. But deep down, you know it won't take you anywhere worthwhile. The hard road, though, that's where true strength is found. It's steep, rocky, and full of obstacles, but it's also where you discover what you're really made of. Taking the hard road means embracing challenges instead of running from them. It means stepping outside your comfort zone and choosing to grow even when it's uncomfortable. The hard road tests you. It pushes you to your limits, stretches your capacity, and forces you to dig deep for the strength you didn't know you had. Why do you think the hard road feels so lonely? Because most people aren't willing to take it. They settle for the easy path, avoiding discomfort and struggle. But the truth is, the easy road doesn't build character. It doesn't prepare you for life's storms. It leaves you untested and unprepared. The hard road, on the other hand, strengthens your mind, body, and soul. Every time you face an obstacle on the hard road, you're given a choice: to quit or to keep going. And every time you choose to keep going, you become stronger. You start to realize that the struggle isn't a punishment, it's a gift. It's shaping you into someone who can handle anything life throws your way. The hard road also teaches you patience and perseverance. Progress may feel slow, and setbacks are inevitable. But the hard road rewards those who endure. Each step forward brings you closer to your goals, and every challenge overcome becomes a badge of honor, a reminder of your strength and determination. So don't fear the hard road. Embrace it. Walk it with pride, knowing that every difficulty you face is building you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable person. The hard road isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. It's about the person you become along the way. True strength isn't given, it's earned, step by step, on the hardest roads. In a world that constantly seeks validation through likes, comments, and applause, it's easy to believe that your value is tied to what others think of you. But here's the truth. Your worth has nothing to do with their opinions. It doesn't matter if the world sees you or not. What matters is how you see yourself. Too often we let the expectations and judgments of others dictate our choices and strive for approval, afraid of rejection, and chase external validation to feel enough. But living for others' opinions is a trap. It makes you a prisoner of their approval and leaves you questioning your value the moment their attention fades. Your value is intrinsic. It's within you, unshaken by praise or criticism. You were born with it and no one can take it away. It doesn't come from your achievements, your status, or the approval of others. It comes from the strength of your character, the kindness in your heart, and the courage you show every day just by being yourself. When you stop seeking validation from others, you unlock a different kind of freedom. You realize that you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You don't have to fit into their mold or meet their expectations. You're allowed to walk your own path, to chase your own dreams, and to define success on your own terms. This doesn't mean you'll never face criticism or doubt. People will always have opinions, and not all of them will be kind. But when you know your value, their words lose their power. You stop bending to their judgment and start standing in your truth. Remember this, you are enough as you are. Your value doesn't need to be earned or proven, it simply exists. Stop looking outward for what can only come from within. When you value yourself, you become unshakable. You stop living for others and start living for you. And that's where true fulfillment begins. Don't let anyone define your worth. Know it, own it, and never let it depend on someone else's approval. Your value is yours alone. Life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Success doesn't come to those who start fast and burn out quickly. It comes to those who endure, who keep moving forward even when the road gets tough and the finish line feels out of reach. Endurance is the quiet strength that separates those who dream from those who achieve. Endurance isn't glamorous. It doesn't come with applause or instant rewards. It's waking up every day and doing the hard work, even when it feels like nothing is changing. It's continuing to believe in yourself when the results haven't shown up yet. It's pushing forward through the pain, the doubt, and the setbacks because you know deep down that quitting isn't an option. Every great achievement is built on the foundation of endurance. Behind every success story is someone who refused to give up. They faced failures, rejections, and countless reasons to stop. But they didn't. Why? Because they understood that progress takes time and perseverance. Endurance is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Think about the challenges you faced. There were moments you thought you couldn't keep going, but you did. And every time you chose to endure, you became stronger. Endurance doesn't just lead to success, it transforms you along the way. It teaches you resilience, patience, and the ability to keep going when others have given up. The truth is, the journey to success is rarely easy. It's full of twists, turns, and obstacles. But those who endure, who stay committed, and keep moving forward, no matter how slow the progress, are the ones who reach their goals. Endurance is about playing the long game, staying focused on the bigger picture, and trusting that your hard work will pay off. So, when the path feels endless and the weight feels unbearable, remember this: every step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dreams. Keep going, keep enduring. Success isn't about how fast you get there. It's about having the strength to stay the course. Endurance is the key to unlocking the life you've always imagined. Struggle is often viewed as something to be avoided, something painful and unnecessary. But what if your struggles were not just obstacles, but tests? Tests of your willpower, your determination, and your ability to push through when the world is telling you to quit. The truth is, the most defining moments of your life won't come during times of ease. They will come in the moments when you are tested, when everything inside you tells you to give up, but you refuse to do so. Every struggle you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself just how strong you truly are. It's easy to believe in yourself when everything is going well, when success is coming easily. But real strength is forged when things get tough, when the weight is heavy and your body and mind are exhausted. That's when the true measure of your willpower emerges. It's in these difficult moments that you're forced to dig deep. You have to decide whether you give in to the pain, the doubt, or the fear, or whether you keep going even when you don't feel like it. This is where willpower is tested, not in moments of comfort, but in the crucible of adversity. It's in the fight when you feel like you have nothing left to give that your character is truly revealed. Every time you choose to keep going, you strengthen your willpower. Every time you rise from failure, keep moving despite setbacks, or continue the journey when the road is unclear, you prove that you're more than capable of handling whatever life throws your way. You're not defined by the struggles themselves, but by how you respond to them. Your ability to endure, to press forward, and to stay committed despite the odds is what defines your strength. Remember, struggle is not here to break you. It's here to test you, to see how far your willpower can take you. Every challenge is an opportunity to grow, to get stronger, and to prove that nothing can defeat your determination. The power to overcome lies within you. Don't let any struggle convince you otherwise. Keep pushing, keep fighting, and keep proving to yourself that your willpower is unbreakable. No, greatness is not a product of following the crowd or blending in with the masses. It's not found in playing it safe or taking the easiest path. Greatness demands something far more challenging, the courage to stand alone. It requires the strength to walk a path that others might not understand, to stay true to your vision even when no one else believes in it, and to continue forward when everyone else has turned back. The journey to greatness is often a lonely one. While others are content to follow the familiar paths, those who seek greatness must be willing to step into the unknown. They must embrace solitude, knowing that it's not a punishment, but a necessary part of their growth. The road to greatness isn't paved with the approval of others. It's carved by your own convictions, determination, and willingness to stand firm in the face of adversity. When you stand alone, it's easy to feel uncertain, even invisible. There may be moments when you wonder if it's all worth it, when you question whether the sacrifices are worth the reward. But remember, every great figure in history who made a lasting impact was once in your position. They were misunderstood, doubted, and often isolated, but they kept going. They knew that true greatness comes from following your own path, not the one that's already been walked by others. Standing alone is not about isolation, it's about independence. It's about trusting your own instincts, making decisions based on your vision, and having the resilience to keep moving forward when the world doesn't seem to notice or understand. You don't need others to validate your journey. You need to trust that your own determination, your own commitment, and your own belief in yourself are enough. Greatness isn't for the faint of heart. It's for those willing to walk through the storm when others shy away. It's for those who are unafraid to be misunderstood, unafraid to fail, and unafraid to stand alone when necessary. The truth is, when you stand alone, you create space for your greatness to emerge. You become the one who lights the way for others to follow. Remember, the road to greatness is rarely crowded. It's often just you, your vision, and your unwavering belief that what you're doing matters. Keep moving forward with strength, and you'll discover that standing alone isn't a sign of weakness. It's the foundation for a greatness that only a few are willing to build. So as you walk this journey, remember, that the strongest are always alone because they choose to rise above the noise, trust their own path, and never back down in the face of adversity. The road to greatness may be lonely, but it's through that solitude that your true strength is forged. Keep believing in yourself. Keep pushing forward, and know that the struggles you face today are building the foundation for the extraordinary life ahead of you. Your greatness is already within you. It's time to let it shine. Thank you.